Hello there, my name is Asleon. Today we'll be talking about how I built my Collei. I absolutely adore Collei. She is so cute. I don't use her too often though, because I have this little adorable baby, um, who is just better than Collei. Sorry, Collei. Anyway, my Collei has 12,776 HP, 1,245 attack, 368 EM, 25 over 138 crit damage, 138. Man, her crit damage and her ER are almost the same, only 0.3 off. Anyway, 138 crit ER, and then she has a 61.6% Dandero damage bonus. Now, weapon-wise, I have her currently on the stringless. It gives her EM and increases her skill and burst damage, which is really nice. She does damage with her skill and her burst. Now, I do also think the Moon, I have no idea how to say that, would be good because it's a hack percent substat, which helps a lot with her damage. And then for every point of the maximum energy capacity, elemental burst damage of her burst damage is increased by 0.12% for every point of energy capacity. So how much energy they can totally have. A maximum of 30% increase. Elemental burst damage can be achieved this way. I think is a pretty good weapon for her. And then I think the Ally Hunter is also a pretty good option. And another attack percent substat. When the character equipped with the weapon is off the field, they gain 2% damage bonus, up to 20% damage bonus at a 2 refinement. And then when the character is not on the field, is when the character is on the field for more than 4 seconds, they start losing their bonus. Collei is not a character you have on the field for all that long. Now, the Favonius Warbow is also not bad with ER to help her get her burst up quicker, and then it helps with crit hits. I personally like her on the stringless. The elemental skill and burst damage increase along with the EM, which is a stat she likes. Now, on to her artifacts. I personally like having her on a 4-piece Deepwood. It increases her Dendro damage bonus, it increases her skill and burst damage, and it helps. When her skill or burst hits an opponent, it decreases Dendro resistance, which I really like. It can trigger even when she's off field. So I really like Deepwood for her. Gilded Dreams, Gilded Dreams is a good set for her too, given the fact that it also boosts her EM, and a lot of EM isn't bad when your character is running off of a lot of reactions. Emblem of Severed Fate is also nice. You get some ER and her burst damage is upped. 25% super start, and it will be upped by a maximum of 75%. Now you could also put her on Noblesse if you really wanted to, so when she uses her ult, she buffs the rest of the characters. I personally just really like having her on Deepwood. Now for the artifact stacks, her Sands, I recommend this Sands on I have on her sucks. It rolled into defense a bunch of times, which is really sad. Anyway, you want her an attack or an EM percent for the Sands. Sorry, not EM percent. Attack percent or an EM Sands. A Dendro damage goblet. And then a crit rate or crit damage circlet. I have her on a crit damage circlet. Although granted, she could use the crit rate. I just don't feel like swapping her to one. Now, talent-wise, I recommend doing her burst, her E, and you can basically just ignore her base attack. She does have, so when you attach, was it this one? No. This one, the Floral Swindler. So this is when she uses her E and her Floral Ring, which is her boomerang. When you trigger an elemental reaction before the boomerang returns to her, it'll give her the Sprout effect. The Sprout effect deals Dendro damage equivalent to 40% of Collei's attack to nearby opponents for 3 seconds. And then if the Sprout effect is triggered during its initial duration, the initial effect is removed. The damage dealt by the Sprout is considered elemental skill damage, so elemental skill damage increases that. On to her constellations. Now, Collei's first con increases her energy regeneration when she's off field. Her second con swaps the effects of the talent I just talked about to where, let me try to remember exactly what it does. It allows it to be extended for up to 3 seconds when triggering, well, a burning, quicken, aggravate, spread, bloom, hyperbloom, or burgeon reactions. It can only be extended once. It's spread triggered during this effect, same thing as last time. So it's almost a repeat of her skill, except you can increase the duration of it. Her C, no, I'm on her C3. Increases the level of her E by 3. Her C4 increases the EM of nearby characters by 60, everyone except for her, when using her ult. Now, her C5 increases her ult's level, and her C6, when the floral ring, so her E, hits an opponent, it summons a Collei Amma that deals 200% of Collei's attack as Dendro damage, and it can only create one of these. Alrighty. I believe that's it for her kit. Now on to her teams. I'm having her run with Cyno, Collei, Yayo, and Shinobu. 2 supports. Well, Cyno being my damage dealer, 2 Dendros, and 2 Electros. I really like this. You get 2 Electro applicates. You have a nice 2 healers, which is really nice. You have Collei for damage and Cyno for damage. Now, honestly, Collei can be quite diverse in her usage, because you could run her with just about any Electro DPS you want to be using for Aggravate. You would just throw down her ult, probably throw out her E, trigger a reaction, and then go on through there. Collei's really good for, well, elemental reactions. So, like, I guess, am I just missing them? I don't know. You could use it for, like, Sethos or, well, any character you really want. You can also use it for Hyperloom teams. Have her down whoever your Hydra character is, your Electric character, and maybe a secondary Dendro character. Like I said, I would probably have used Collei a lot more if I didn't have Nahida, because Nahida's on top of that whole Dendro application and everything. I think Collei is a really, really good option. And she's also just adorable. Oh, I really hope I get her C6. Anyway, we shall see how well this team will beat up Ajax. I'm hoping they don't die with the double sustainers. I've been having a lot of characters die on me lately. So, we'll see how that goes. Ah, take that. No! She's dead! Yo, do you not have stuff right now? Well, one way or the other, let's try this out again. Yes. Don't die this time, guys. Please.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then.
I'm gonna start the same way. Maybe I should save her off when I actually have HP down. Alright, there we go. Now move on to your next phase so I can kill you again, Ajax. Well, his ult's still up. Darn, all the other ults went down, though. No! Don't die. I'm gonna swap them off. Dang it! Well, Cyno's getting revived.
No use hiding back there. The strength of a single slip. Surrender. Has your luck run out? Crush you.
Don't be scared. Out of my way.
No. Someone else die. Much less Cyno again. she took him out. Alright, Sino, how much longer we got to wait for you to be back up? And I'm gonna save Yao Yao's ult for when he's back. Alright, stay put. I know that's a tall order, but... they're not doing bad damage without him. Oh, Collei. Don't do it. I'm not super worried about Cookie. I have Cookie C6, so her dying is gonna be hard. It's the rest of these people that I'm worried about. Okay, 7 seconds, and then I get to summon Sino back onto the field. Hi. Let me just revive Sino real quick. Use Yao Yao's ult to get his HP back up. Don't get hit. E. Ult here, and then have him come in. Now, I'm sure he can't do the most damage right now because he doesn't have his ult up. Bro died twice. I think with the 2 sustainers I'd be doing better. Although I think Yao might need some leveling. Like while I have the final hit. Anyway, that's all for how I built my Collei. A whole fiasco happened when we were fighting Ajax, but I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I don't always do well in the combat portions. I really like Collei. I'm pretty happy with how I have her built for right now, because I don't use my Collei that often. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe you got some insight on how you want to build your Collei. Actually, I do mostly go on a little sort of tangent. If you want to build her DPS, put her on, gosh, what was it called? Wanderer's Troop, because that'll boost her charge attack damage. You, of course, are going to want her base attack up, and then you could do charge slots. I would recommend probably putting her, Fischl, Kuki, and then, honestly, you could probably have this team with, like, Yao Yao. Sorry, this team minus Sino plus Fischl, so then you could do her as the main aggravate and the other 3 supporting her. I think that'd be a lot of fun, which maybe I'll do a video for that sometime. Anyway, short tangent over. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more like this, please subscribe, or maybe that Collei DPS video. I do really want to do that. Anyway, may you have a blessed rest of your day or night, whenever it is. Thank you again for watching.